So let's go to the Big 12. It's been mostly cordial at media days, even though Commissioner Yormark did say Texas and Oklahoma have not carried the conference in recruiting the past few years, which I don't know if that's factually true. And then clearly Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy, he's made it known he is not happy that this Bedlam rivalry is going to be ending with Oklahoma. Are we going to see more shots fired in the coming months as Texas and Oklahoma prepare to leave and head to the SEC?
All right, well, the part of me that is excited about the start of the season cannot wait to get any Oklahoma-Texas road game in the Big 12.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that, okay, because it's always been fiery. They've always been, the big home game on the other team's campuses, and this is their last shot at them. So, yeah, it's going to be brutal out there when those guys go on the road. A couple of things to consider. When Yormark says that they haven't been leading in recruiting, certainly with Oklahoma, he's accurate. I don't think there's any question the Sooners have not done particularly well recruiting in the last 12 to 18 months, and that's something that they're going to have to solve quickly moving forward. They're going to struggle, I think, to win 8 games this year. You have a season like that, it's hard to overcome. Texas, let me give you a few stat facts on Texas. Okay. We're back, really, team of this decade. We're back. Oh, really? Are you? Of this decade. Since 2009, they have had 3 losing seasons under 3 different coaches. So this is not just, oh my God, a coach just ran them in the tank and that's that. No, 3 different coaches have had losing seasons. All right. Check out the number of players that have been drafted since 2010 from Texas. Now, I know they're the preseason favorite. It's not like they haven't been preseason favorite before. But, and I know their quarterback room is loaded. It's arguably the best quarterback room in college football, although down in Baton Rouge, they might dispute that a little bit. I think Texas may well play the role of Texas A&M last year because the hype is, again, it's through the roof. It is through the roof. We're great. We're back. They're all saying the right things. Ewers is out there. Hey, we're all on the same page. It looks good. The problem at Texas is not, the issue isn't just about the guy wearing the whistle around his neck. Okay. They've got a problem, with the alumni and with the significant alumni and the administration. Sark is a beloved coach that can recruit just about anybody, but he hasn't been able to win to the extent that they're supposed to win. Chris Del Conte is one of the best athletic directors in the country, but he is dealing with a push and pull situation with the Texas culture that's really a problem. I mean, that's the elephant in the room. And a lot of it, guys, is political. Oh, that's surprising, right? Shocking. It's political, but it's true. It is. A lot of Texas fans are at odds with influential Texas fans. Okay, the Texas fan in Austin versus the Texas fan in Houston, Texas, okay, sure, or in Dallas, Texas. It's a different animal.
Yeah.
And that's been the problem there. And until they figure that out, I mean, McConaughey hadn't figured it out, so he hasn't, he will.
All right.
So one point of clarification. When you say this year's Texas could be last year's Texas A&M, you think they're staring down the barrel of a losing season and missing a bowl game?
Well, I mean, what was their record last year? I mean,
Texas A&M, 5-7?
Yeah, 5-7.
Yeah. I mean, and I think they were picked, number 6? Weren't they number 6?
Yeah, they're preseason 6, yep.
Preseason 6, and I got on your show and said, this is the most bogus preseason ranking I think I've ever seen.
I remember
based on what? It's based on recruiting numbers alone and on the fact that they've got a returning quarterback and the feeling that he's going to stay healthy. Look, I could be wrong. They might roll into Alabama and win. I mean, they could. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if it happened. They should have beaten them a year ago. But, you look around the Big 12, Kansas State, don't overlook them. Baylor, don't overlook them.
Hell, Texas
Tech.
Yeah.
Texas Tech is loaded. Joey McGuire is ready to take off down there in Lubbock. They get Oregon in week 2. That's going to be a hell of a game.
I got them beating them, Timmy B. I got Texas Tech beating them.
I hope Spencer and I get that game. We're not sure yet what our first 3 games are going to be. We had our meetings a little earlier than normal. But when I look at the schedule of games out there, that game is sort of screaming that we be down there. So we may well be. And I'll tell you another team. You didn't ask me about them, but I'm going to tell you about another team that I think is getting a lot of love and maybe a little bit forgotten. Well, I'll give you 2, okay? In the Big Ten, Wisconsin.
Yes.
Luke Fickell has a schedule that is just made to order in his first year.
Yep.
They are going to chunk that baby around. He's got an offense that's going to look nothing like, all right, what Paul Christ's offense looked like. And the defense isn't going anywhere. It's going to still be really, really good. They got to make some changes because the offense is going to speed the game up a little bit, and they may have to play a few more snaps through the course of the year. And the other team, Tulane. Remember how everyone just rained on Kansas State a year ago when they lost to Tulane early? Okay. Mm-hmm. We found out a little bit later that wasn't a bad loss, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did. Keep an eye on the Green Wave. They are my fly in the ointment, and they shouldn't be a surprise. Yeah. Not after what they did to the Heisman Trophy winner in outscoring him, outpassing him, and winning the Cotton Bowl last year. So keep an eye on those teams in the Big 12, emerging clubs. And we haven't even mentioned TCU. I really believe that Chandler Morris is going to have a Max Duggan kind of season. I really do. I think he can post incredible numbers for the Horned Frogs. And I think their schedule early is going to work out well for them. And, of course, everybody's going to be hearing about them in week 1 when they play Dion in Colorado.
It's going to be a heck of an encore for Sonny Dykes, that's for sure. Like our friends at Genucel with their dark spot corrector. All right, and our listeners have been begging for a restock. You guys have blown Genucel up, and we really appreciate it. It's a fantastic product. If you don't know, Genucel, they have the famous dark spot corrector. Like I told you, they're already sold out. It has 3 cutting-edge ingredients. I can read them to you, but what you need to understand, okay, is that Genucel, it's skincare for everyone. All right, this isn't a single. All right, just for your wife, just for your husband, just for whoever. It's for everybody. It's fantastic. I use it. My wife uses it. David Cohn uses it. Look at that beautiful face. Look at that thing right there. Flaming Dragon uses it, okay, and it still doesn't get burned. It's amazing. Their most popular package includes summer essentials as well, like their best-selling Ultra Retinol Moisturizer. It has a powerful retinol alternative for safe use in the sun. You don't have to worry about getting fried like an egg, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you see results, or you get 100% of your money back, all right? So go to Genucel.com/booster. That's GENUCEL.com/booster to get your dark spot corrector and their most popular package. And everybody listen, it's a pretty big deal, okay? If you go to Genucel.com/booster right now, you save 70% off their most popular package. It's basically free. You're paying for 30% of it. Imagine if you only had to pay for 30% of the gas you put in your car or anything in general. It'd be fantastic. We're doing the opposite right now, though. And all orders, okay, if you use that code, will include a mystery luxury gift while supplies last. David, real quick, Genucel, sum it up in one word.
Perfection.
Yes. Flaming. One word, Genucel.
Perfection.
Wow. Very original. Genucel.com.
Really vibing right now.
Check it out. Timmy B, at some point, the NCAA is looking more toothless and more toothless the more this goes on. It seems like they're going to try and attach themselves more to college basketball where they may have some more cachet. At what point, Greg Sankey just got extended as the SEC commissioner through 2028, not a shocker there, but do you think we are close, or at least on the precipice, of having a legitimate college football commission with a college football czar, commissioner, whatever the hell you want to call it, and if there is a commission, I'd like to nominate us, you, Josh Pate, and then they can just put whoever the hell else they want on there.
Well, at the very least, they should allow the pundits and the self-proclaimed bloviators, right, to have some influence. I do think we're getting closer to that. And in the past, particularly coming out of those meetings in Destin, when I was critical of Greg Sankey over the scheduling situation and that sort of 11th and a half hour decision to stay at 8 games, I have since learned, and I've talked to a number of people, And it does appear that the relationship between the Big Ten commissioner, Tony Petitti, whom I'm very close to and just saw recently at our college football seminar at Rancho Palos Verdes last week on the 6th and 7th, right after the 4th of July, we were out in California, and I saw Tony, and he spoke to us. He's very, very excited about what he says is truly a collegial atmosphere that's been built now between all of the commissioners, and that is his hope that his relationship with Greg will only continue to grow and improve. And they've already met. Each have been to the other's offices to talk and welcome one another. That's really a good thing, because those are the two big cheeses. Let's face it. They influence the way schedules go. Like, for instance, traditionally non-conference games in the Big Ten have been played against a lot of Mid-American schools. The Mid-American schools, teams like Buffalo, Toledo, Northern Illinois, they've leaned on the Big Ten in a lot of ways to round out their schedules and to make some serious money with money games that were played at Big Ten schools,
like the Sun Belt and SEC and
the Sun, very similar to the Sun Belt and Conference USA with the SEC. And I think that cooler heads are now beginning to prevail. Just a little over a year and a half to 2 years ago, when they couldn't even settle on when to start a season after COVID, and Greg smartly took control of that and really did look like the leader for all of college football, and I gave him great praise for that. But they were at each other's throats after that, and basically the presidents had to get involved and say, "Hey guys, we're going to go to 12 even before this television contract is up. So you guys find a way to make this work. You got to facilitate it." Yeah. Now I think with the Big Ten settling down, Kevin Warren was never one that communicated a lot with the other commissioners. Tony Petitti is the direct opposite of that. He will initiate a lot of conversation, and Sankey and he, I believe, are smart enough to know that they have to take the lead and others will follow. And Brett Yormark has done a remarkable job, as we all know, and I'm sure you saw some of what he had to say yesterday at the Big 12 Media Days. I think that we are moving closer to that commission. And here's my thought. You remember when the BCS began, and each year there was a spokesperson for the BCS, and it was a rotating commissioner? It was the SEC for a couple of years, then it was the Big 12. It was just it sounded like someone was going to speak for everybody, sort of the pool reporter, if you will, for what college football was doing. It was a good symbol, but it didn't have any teeth to it. I think they could put teeth to it now, and allow for the leaders of these conferences on a rotating basis to be in charge of and take the lead and be the spokespersons for the entire sport of college football. And with the understanding that everyone, all those heads, and I don't mean just the Power 5 commissioners, okay? I do mean the John Steinbreckers of the Mid-American Conference, the Mike Oreskos of the American. Those all need to be involved, because when we start talking about 12 and maybe 16, and I really do think when we get the new TV contract, we will go to 16. Remember, that first year in 25 is the last year of the current television deal. The new TV deal is being negotiated in the next 24 months to start in 26. And that, I think, that's when the real money's going to be made. Yeah. And they cannot screw this up. And I'm with you. I do think that having a rotating czar, if you will, or if it can be agreed upon by all of those conference commissioners to take that on, good for them. I don't think they will. I don't think anyone wants to be in that position necessarily. But if they were speaking for the group and they did not have to carry that weight every year, I think it's something that could easily be done. Yeah.
Thank goodness Kevin Warren's not there, because the last time we had a Warren commission, they lied to everybody.
He's with the Bears now, yeah.
All right, Tim, we're going to get to the Booster Club here. Let's go to Texas Ed. He wants to know, hashtag Timmy B, that's you, sir. Which of the 4 teams added to the Big 12 will become a power program first with the influx of cash dropped into the program?
A couple of things to remember now, and this is true with all teams that are new to conferences, it takes really about 3 years to get your full TV share. Now, your influence and impact is felt a lot sooner than that because you're in that league and you're getting much more exposure. But the schools know this. It's going to take a couple of years for them to start getting the Big 12 money. Okay, for instance, Houston's going to be living off the American Conference TV money for a couple of more years before they get a full share. I think long-term, Houston is a team to really keep an eye on. Market size, strength of Tillman Fertitta as a major booster, and whatever he wants, he's going to get. It's easier for him to bring in that kind of financial influence while they're waiting on that TV money to evolve. And I think short-term, the team that you got to keep an eye on is BYU. BYU instantly brings not just national, but international credibility to the Big 12. A lot more eyeballs will be on Big 12 games because of, their history, not only of the history of the football program, but the Church of Latter-day Saints and their incredible following worldwide to go along with packed houses in Provo. That is a great place for a football game, fellas. I mean, a great place. And when you start looking, people are saying, and I know this is one of the major questions with Oklahoma and Texas leaving, where are the natural rivalries? I've heard that question. Where are the natural rivalries going to be? Well, there's a Baptist Methodist holy war every year called TCU Baylor. Okay,
Yeah.
that is a big time rivalry in the Big 12 already. Throw in BYU, okay, into the mix, and you've got a lifestyle. I've always said this about college football. What makes it great is that when the teams line up, it's your way of life against their way of life. The fans view it that way, and I think players do too. And BYU is a team, because of their pedigree, they will be targeted right away, and they can't wait to show off, in the Big 12. They've been sort of an independent contractor out there trying to find games. I think one of the greatest things that happened in COVID was how they, Shiitake and those guys were out there looking for games. Remember that matchup with Coastal Carolina they got when they were both riding high and were undefeated, and they got to play at Coastal? That was one of the best games of the year. Yeah. Now, because the way college football is constructed, it really didn't matter in the big picture. But, man, it was a fun game to watch. I think we're going to see a lot of that with BYU initially coming into the Big 12.
Definitely. Well, Timmy B, thanks so much for joining us, my friend. It's always great on this Friday. Don't know if you're going to go play a little golf later today, but if you do, my friend, hit them straight, and look forward to having you on again soon. Hey, YouTube, thanks for checking us out. Make sure you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button. We got a ton of content for you, and football season's almost here.